So Red Thread Games posted this lengthy little message, and anytime you see a screenshot like this, that's like an open letter to the community, you know it's going to be a total disaster, and it can't go right no matter what. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh man, I cannot wait to talk about this and make a video about this. But they said it's a message from Red Thread to our community. To our community, since we first announced Dustborn, we've read your comments and listened to your feedback, hopes, and wishes for the game. Nobody gave you feedback or wishes or hopes for this, dude. It was all a brutal burial. But it says over the past 4 years, our team has poured their hearts into telling a story that's deeply meaningful to us. A story about the power of words, about building a world where everyone can feel safe, about love, friendships, and robots, of course, which to me sounds gay. Gay. We expected Dustborn to spark conversation and debate and looked forward to engaging with our players in a positive and constructive fashion. Unfortunately, that conversation has been drowned out by a tidal wave of hate and abuse. Oh, there we go. There we freaking go, guys. We cannot make it up here. We cannot make it up. We cannot make it up, as Atreus' little soundbite says. That's the thing, because you're against the game, guys. If you're criticizing this in any form or fashion, it's hate and it's abuse. If you don't like this game, you're a racist bigot. That's what it comes down to. That's what it will always come down to with them. They will label you a grifter. They will label you MAGA, cult, all that, buzzwords that they like to throw out there. These guys cannot even fathom the thought that people out there would hate anything that's woke. They cannot imagine a world where anybody has a difference of opinion. That's how these people operate, because they've been told their whole lives that they're special little snowflakes and that the whole world needs to be a kumbaya. And guess what? The real world doesn't work like that. But the real world doesn't work where if I have something bad to say about you or something that you make, that's hate. That's not hate. That word is just used as a shield these days to protect people who feel like they're oppressed and that their pussy hurts because mean old right-wingers don't like their pussy little video game. That's exactly what it is. And this can't turn out good for them, guys. I think this is a nail in the coffin, but let's continue. It says, we welcome thoughtful feedback and respectful criticism. We embrace discussion and debate, but we have zero tolerance for hate speech, harassment, and threats of any kind. I don't condone threats or doxing or anything actual bad, but saying stuff that your game is like your game is not good, it's boring, it's cringe, it's woke, that's all fair criticism, guys. Those who engage in such behavior will be removed from our community. Of course, that's to be expected. To everyone else, thank you for coming on this journey with us. Your support means everything, and your constructive feedback continues to push us to learn and evolve. Together, let's continue building a world where everyone can feel valued and empowered to share their stories. Red Thread Games. And you know what? Just to let you know, their publisher, Quadric Dream, also stood on and supported this, saying they want to express their heartfelt support for our partners at Red Thread Games, who stand united against hate in all its forms and are committed to fostering communities built on understanding and respect. So, okay, cool. Now, what's funny about this is, and it's so weird because you think about this modern audience that they're catering to. Right now on the Steam charts, like I showed you guys, there's only 39 players playing, and the all-time peak was 83. How the hell is there 722 likes and almost 700 reposts if not that many people are playing the game? That screams to me that activists really don't give a fuck about the stuff they're preaching on. They just want the social media attention because, look, there's more engagement than what has been in the game ever. Like, there hasn't even been 722 people playing the game ever since this launched the other week. So either A, there's a whole bunch of political activists that are just wokies supporting this blindly that don't give a shit to play the video game, or B, this is fake support, fake engagement. Either way, this modern audience doesn't turn out. You can see it's just cringe. Nobody in the fucking thread is even backing it up because replies are closed. Who can reply? Only accounts Red Thread Games mentioned can reply. That's how they work. That's how they operate. Now, just for shits and giggles, let's look at The quotes. How do you go? How do you go? They always change Twitter every time I use it. Here's the quotes. Melanie Mack said, I already removed myself from y'all's community and was sure to tell Steam that your game was the worst I ever played, and she got a refund. Holy crap. I didn't even know Melanie Mack bought it. I guess she was trying to do a playthrough and she didn't like it. Zero Dozer says, get fucked. You fuckers never wanted dialogue, and it shows through the sheer fucking evil of that game. I'm glad it's failing miserably. Be indoctrinated, goddammit, says Smash. Locked replies, chef's kiss. They're just getting flamed. Stuttering Craig says, this is the most Dustborn statement I've ever read. We'll talk about Madam Savvy's responses later. As Howard says, they're going to remove people that engage in hate speech from the community. At this point, other than the devs, people playing this shit to meme on it are the only community you have, which is, at this point, Madam Savvy and other people are just playing this game and they don't really support it to meme on it. You have people hate playing it. Your game is bad. The heroes are sociopaths. The music is cringe. The gameplay is bad. The designs are ugly. Have fun going out of business. Hey, look at this. All DEI games like this have only one place to exist: the trash bin. The dustbin community in question. That's a lie. People are calling it out. You got what you deserve by delivering a terrible game. Close down your dog shit studio, take the L, and just fuck off already. I mean, what do they think is going to happen when you release a game as terrible as this? And this is brutal for them, guys. This game is probably the biggest failure in gaming in quite some time. And the world is changing now, guys. We're past this whole kumbaya, get along, little doggies. Let's allow these little DEI narratives to be passed around and fill out ESG points with check boxes of, go down the list to make sure people are happy that this game's politically correct. 'Cause we're special. We're past that, guys. We don't want that crap anymore. We want real video games, real good, entertaining video games. Video games are meant to be fun, and these guys would rather do everything but make something entertaining and fun. These guys would rather inject all of their little political commentary, their agendas, their ideologies into these video games, and it fails each and every single time. And then all these guys do at the end of it is blame gamers for why it failed. It's your fault you don't, consume our stuff. It's your fault you don't get indoctrinated to our ideologies. Oh, guess what? That's what freedom of choice is, guys. As a consumer, you could choose to support something or not. But your community, your supporters don't turn out ever, ever, ever. And you guys make cringe. You guys make everything from gender swaps to race swaps to terrible fucking writing in video games and movies and TVs. I mean, Acolyte just shut down, not having a season 2. Concord failed epically. They don't learn. These people do not learn. And you almost like to see the train wreck. Right on cue. Anytime a woke video game fails, what do they go to? What's the go-to excuse and reason? It's because of the gamers, guys. It's because of all of us straight male gamers, most notably the white ones. It's our fault that video games like Dustborn fail. Never mind that this is literally a video game based on and inspired as a result of Donald Trump winning the 2016 election. Never mind that this game proudly advertised itself as the wokest game out there. Never mind that this game is all about using your words as weapons and canceling people, and it has cringe artwork and design when it comes to the characters in this game. This game does not look fun. But video game developers like Red Thread Games don't understand. People don't want political agendas or woke narratives in their video games. Stop making games for people that don't support them. This modern audience that they're catering to doesn't exist. It does not show up to give any kind of monetary support for any of these games that are made by political activists that are cosplaying as people in the gaming industry. They don't show up. They don't turn out. They don't support it. And this game is abysmal. Right now, if you're looking at the Steam charts, as of this recording, there's literally only 39 players playing this game. Wow. This video will get more views than that. I could literally record a video taking a shit on my front lawn, and it will get more people in real time watching and supporting that than they will be Dustborn. And then check this out, 24-hour peak, 41. So in the last 24 hours, it only went to 41 players. And then the all-time peak 9 days ago was only 83. This game could not even get 100 people playing it. Big yikes. Red Thread Games is probably going to go out of business. And again, this is all they're doing. This is all their fault. If you go woke, you go broke, especially if you're making something as cringe as Dustborn. This game is so terrible that I literally only know one person that's played it, Madden Savvy Games, and she played a full playthrough of this. I'm not going to lie, I was tempted to try it, but I could barely bring myself to actually play through Star Wars Outlaws, and that game isn't even near as woke as Dustborn is, or as like we started calling it, Dustbin, because this game is exactly going to end up in the dustbin. This is trash. This is probably the most failure of a video game all year, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot, and it's going to go down in infamy. And you think about all the stuff that was going on at the development studio for this game. Evidently, they were taking EU taxpayers' monies and getting grants from the government, and lots of money went into this game and has been exposed. And it's like you're reusing GTA assets for online apartments. The game looks horrible. I've seen a lot of people coping and seething with this on Twitter. A lot of these woke, progressive, lefty accounts. They're sulking that this game failed so much. And they failed to realize that they're not supporting the game either. They're sitting there crying on the internet. None of them are playing it. None of these political activists actually believe what they're being woke for, guys. They just want the attention. They just want to feel like oppressed victims so that they have something to stand up for. Because at the end of the day, if they didn't have anything to be activists for, they'd be lonely little gamer incels in their apartment by themselves, crying that the world is mean to them and that they're oppressed because they're LGBTQ or because they're a POC or because of whatever other bullshit label they want to attach to them. Meanwhile, they call us right-wing grifters the incels. We're the normal people. There's no woke versus anti-woke. It's normal versus fucking weird, wacky, woke, mental illness people. All right, so continuing on. Now, speaking of Madam Savvy, she went off on a lot of Twitter tangents against Red Thread Games. You can see just a notebook saying that they haven't engaged with anyone. In fact, your own dev threw hate at the concept of crowdfunding despite you being funded with taxpayer dollars from several sources. One is choice, the other's not. I support every single person's right to creative freedom, but support is never mandatory for anyone, and the concept of tax dollars going to this does not spark joy. I want to have a real dialogue about your story because I think it's an interesting narrative and I don't understand what message you are going for. You want to tell a story about the power of words? Why did you choose to use words of hate and hurt for the main character? Why are we forced to use words of violence against our own friends? These are unavoidable moments no matter what you do. And she just goes off giving huge criticism to this game, calling out everything wrong about the woke ideology narrative. I mean, you can see she says criticism and confusion isn't hate or abuse. Do people do that? Yeah, it's the internet, but there are nameless losers, and no one takes people who throw violence and threats around seriously. So ignore the 2 to 3 people who are being stupid. It happens to everyone, and engage with the actual questions instead of hiding. Calling out everything from Red Thread Games in response to their post-attacking gamers, right? And that's the thing, is these people like to use criticism as harassment. They like to say that they're being harassed, that they're having hate speech towards them. Woke people don't like to hear criticism, all right? They go nuts over it. They tend to censor. They try to cancel. They lose their little fragile minds. And Madam Savvy is basically telling it like it is. I know this is a lot of text here, so I'm not going to read through all of it. But you can see they're talking about how everything is wrong with this game and how they don't have any kind of interest in having an actual dialogue. The target audience doesn't show up. And this is somebody who actually played the full game. So are they being insulted too? Are they being attacked? Yeah, I think anybody that actually showed up to support this game is being attacked by Red Thread Games. And that's what's fucked up about it, because you could have an actual conversation. You can actually talk about criticism and feedback without being a victim and pointing the fingers, which is exactly what Red Thread Games did here. And ultimately, that's because, like the saying goes, they're the intolerant tolerant. You go woke, you go broke. They got the thinnest skin out there, guys. They don't want to hear this. And this is all the way around industry wide. You got Star Wars Outlaws subreddit banning people just for criticizing the video game. You got people in the Assassin's Creed subreddit banning people just for even saying Yasuke wasn't a samurai. You see community managers on various discords like the Helldivers 2 Discord banning people for criticizing furry fan art being in there. These people are nuts, guys. They want a hive mind. They want an echo chamber where everybody thinks, looks, talks the same. No room for difference of opinion. No room for anything outside of the whole woke narrative. And that's the fucking problem. That's why DEI is bad. That's why we call it out. It's not because it's a right-wing grift that we don't believe in. I firmly believe in everything that I say in my videos. And Dustborn, Red Thread Games, you guys crashed and burned so hard that this might be y'all's last video game. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate for you guys, because instead of focusing on making a real good, entertaining video game, you went with the woke narrative. And that never works. Ever, ever, ever. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're brand new. Turn out for the support on this. All right? I appreciate you guys. Thank you.